My channel has existed for a little bit over a year now, and I finally feel like I've reached a point where I need to discuss and solidify the direction it's going in. When I started the channel, it was nothing more than sort of a Rush tribute project because Neil Peart's passing was what inspired me to become a drummer and to really push myself, and so I just started doing Rush covers and I had no thought as to where it would go from there. After that, I did a few other covers. I had the naive and somewhat selfish idea to cover Bohemian Rhapsody and Carry On My Wayward Son and some of these more mainstream songs that I didn't really care to play, just thinking that maybe I could get a few more views, and it didn't feel right. But the first video that I ever had that took any sort of small jump in views was my drum cover of Dark Water by Agent Fresco, which was only a thought to create because I find Agent Fresco to be such an underrated band, and I find that to be such a powerful song that I wish more people knew about, and so I forgot about everything else. I didn't have any goal for it on the channel, except for the fact that it was something I was passionate about learning, a song that I really care for, and I was doing it for myself. And as of today, that is by far my top video on the channel still. And so that leads me to my two goals for this channel and two themes. Only one of them I've discussed so far, and that is the fact that I'm only looking to feature and create content about these artists that I think are incredibly underrated and underappreciated, specifically in this modern progressive rock and progressive metal scene. That is simply where I think those kind of bands lie, and it's horrible to see these incredibly creative and innovative bands that write such unique pieces of art and such emotional lyrics and create such incredible soundscapes getting overshadowed by these watered down, sort of lifeless feeling songs that we see today with artists that don't even feel like they're confident in what they're creating their work about. It just doesn't sit right with me, and these bands deserve extraordinarily larger fan bases. They deserve to be mainstream, on the radio, seen everywhere, and I want to play any small part in getting them there that I can. And I've had some great experiences with that so far. Bands like Carmen Jaka and Isbjörg have reached out to me and offered to send me things. They've been incredibly grateful just for the fact that I put a 10-minute video on my channel featuring them, talking about their music and what it means to me and how it's touched me. And they're incredibly nice groups of people, incredible artists, and being able to talk to them has made me appreciate their music even more and motivate me more for this experience. So I am fully immersed in what I'm doing. Finally, I am really excited about the videos I'm making, and that's the goal I have for this channel, is to hopefully play any part I can in more people discovering this incredible, powerful music. But the other part of this channel is why I like any of this music in the first place. And that comes from two places. One of those reasons being that my parents have been incredible about exposing me to good music as I'm growing up and making it a part of my life already. But the main part of it is the fact that I have synesthesia, and in particular chromesthesia, which is the ability to see colors through music. My synesthesia has been something that has completely changed my life and the way I experience things, and it's not an incredibly rare thing. It's fairly common among the vast majority of people on Earth, but I don't see anyone really talking about it. There aren't any channels or videos of people trying to explain what it's like or giving any insight on the experience, and I thought, just in case anyone's curious, it would be a good thing to kind of form the channel around, especially because that is most of the joyful experience for me of listening to this music, is the world and the atmosphere that I get lost in with these colors. I've had chromesthesia as long as I can remember, and for the longest time it was something that would happen when I closed my eyes. I would get lost and start floating around in these colors, vibrating light with different pulses and patterns, little flickers here and there. And it was an incredible thing to see, and it was something that I became completely accustomed to and got so used to that I wouldn't even think about it or notice it at a certain point. It was something that I almost forgot about or didn't realize that not most people are able to experience it. And a few years ago, I decided to do a project on it during my freshman year of high school. And for the first time in a long time, I sat down in an empty room with nothing but my headphones, and I listened all the way through Rush's Cygnus X1 Book 2 Hemispheres, my favorite Rush track. And I told myself to just completely focus on the colors and the experience. And a few minutes into the song, I started seeing this light teal color rushing in through the windows. And I looked through the blinds and the colors started to swirl and come at me. And for the first time in my life, at least that I had noticed, I was experiencing the colors with my eyes open too. And shortly after that, I went on a drive and we were listening to July by Catatonia. And I looked out the window and saw that the entire sky had become yellow for me. And so what originally was a bit of a scary and freaky experience, I calmed myself down and began to enjoy the luxuries of the fact that now forms of light, whether that's a lamp or a screen, the sky, reflections bouncing off of things, forms of light change color for me through music, and that is where the bulk of my synesthesia comes from now. It still happens when I close my eyes. I can still get lost in that, and I am almost entirely used to and adapted to seeing it with my eyes open now. But it's incredible for me. It completely enhances the experience of the song, and I want to do my best to show that through my reaction videos now and my drumming. So I'm going to start editing my videos more. There will be scenes throughout all my reactions with different colors and effects that come in, likely filters that cover part of the screen, flashing lights, sort of things that I can do to best show what I am experiencing while I'm listening to that song and how it's affecting me, because that is a huge part of the experience and it just doesn't feel honest unless I'm talking about that as well. And I think I might have seen this coming a long ways away, because naming my channel In the Dream is super fitting. There's nothing more in the dream for me than getting lost in these colors, listening to songs that I adore. And that is the second main goal of the channel for me, is to share those experiences through these bands that I love, that I don't think get enough attention, and I think that should create a channel that is unique amongst itself. I haven't always been the best about opening up about my synesthesia, because for the longest time it just didn't feel like the most believable thing to me. There have been lots of people who have doubted it or brushed it off or seemingly just thought of it as something that I was really playing up, but I'm truly not. That's not something that I would just come up with for attention. It's something that I truly feel and experience, and it's one of the most amazing things in my life. I'm super happy and grateful to have some sort of a gift like this. So that's about all I have to say. Just expect some changes coming up on the channel. More edits in the videos. I'm going to be creating a new intro as well that showcases more of that synesthesia and sets the tone for that with those kind of videos. And within a few weeks or a few months, I will have my setup change once again. I'm up against this wall for now. While we're working on a slightly more professional setup, there will be different lighting, and once all that is set up, drum covers will be coming again, likely with some sort of synesthesia-inducing experience as well. But for now, reactions will be happening here, other types of videos will be happening here as well. And whenever my setup changes again, I'll make it very clear, and from that point on, my setup won't be changing for a long time. And all types of videos will be coming up. So for now, thank you, and expect lots of colors in the future.